what's going on? So I gotta know this. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Um, because you can totally hear the bullshit factor. I gotta do this. I don't want to, but I watch the guy's videos sometimes. Mystic. What the hell, man? I watch your shit just sometimes because sometimes it's informing, sometimes it's complete miss, and sometimes it's entertaining. But this video you made, ranting about the VR because you got all in your emotions because people call it a gimmick. And it showed you got all in your emotions. You're upset because of how gimmicky it is. And you don't like people calling this thing a gimmick. It's a gimmick. In a big way. You're talking about it's got like 150 games on there. Okay. Good for that. Your comparison of the VR headset to what you consider a gimmicky console being the Nintendo Wii. Bad comparison, bro. Because you're just proving how it is a gimmick if you want it to not be. By saying, well, the Wii had shovelware. Okay. But you're comparing the controllers. Newsflash. The fucking console is bundled with motion controls. Breaking news. You don't get a fucking controller. What do you get when you buy the fucking PSVR headset? You get 2 motion controls with light bulbs. Is this breaking news to you, dumbass? I swear to God, some of you fanboys, which this is why I watch some of your shit and turn it off as soon as you get your fanboy emotions going, annoys me. Because you're toting big time for fucking Sony. You let a nug slip out every once in a while talking about, PS Now and how they don't release the numbers because they're probably sitting so low that they just can't admit failure, which is true, but they'll proudly go out and announce when they're doing great, but they can't announce when they're doing bad. That shit's 100% true. And I'll give you that. But making stupid fucking comparisons in a rant, okay, because you're in your emotions, doesn't make any sense. Motion controls in comparison to the Wii, when your fucking VR headset comes with motion control standard, doesn't mean anything. And then comparing it even more so to the iToy of the PS2, when the fucking machine comes with a fucking camera. Are you that damn dense? Seriously, could you be any more dense? The VR headset, when you get it out of the damn box, has standard 2 fucking motion controls and a fucking camera. Gimmick anybody? Comparing the fucking thing to Xbox's gimmick of Kinect. The Nintendo's gimmick of motion controls. VR has both of them things in the damn box. And you want to go on a rant about how it's not a gimmick. Here's a bigger news flash for you, buddy. Sony built the Pro based off of visuals to improve VR's headset. Pro, in of itself, is an add-on for the VR. What more do you want? I swear to God. Sometimes I watch these people and I think they're falling apart. They have to be. And I understand his whole thing is Sony. I get that. Like I said, sometimes I watch this stuff because like I said, it's entertaining. I'm going to try to link the video so you can go watch him fall apart. Because, damn, it's fucked up watching him compare all the gimmicky shit, like Kinect and the iToy, even though the VR headset has a camera bundled in with it, and the Wii's motion controls, which again, VR's main source of playing the fucking thing is motion controls. Because when you buy one, it comes with what? Motion controls, 2 of them. Why compare those? Why compare any of that? I understand. You want to say the shovelware from the Wii. That's fine. But here's a problem. In order for VR to be successful, which right now it is not, it still sits way below the bar of even being successful in any realm, not just PlayStation's, but Oculus, HTC Vive, the Google Daydream, which is the one I own. VR as a whole is unsuccessful, which is why it's called gimmicky. It's unsuccessful. The motion controls are semi-successful. You don't have to use motion controls in VR, yet a good 50, if not over 50% of VR controls are motion controls. Hell, the one used in mine is a motion control. This thing here is a motion control. The 2 with the PlayStation 1 are 2 of the fucking ones that were motion controls for the PS3s. PS3 had motion control. So, again, bad comparison. Bad comparison. To say that their VR headset is not gimmicky. VR right now as it stands, because VR is not where it should be, is a gimmick. And due to the fact that PlayStation, while they're slowly supporting it, and it's slowly, like at a snail's pace, moving up, and they want like an additional 280 games by the end of 2018, it's sadly a gimmick. Due to the fact that PlayStation did involve an entire new system just to improve visuals, okay? You don't have to have that specific system just to have VR. Gimmick. That's what that is. It's a gimmick. VR from PlayStation is just that. It is a gimmick. No matter how bad you don't want it to be, right now, due to everything out with PlayStation VR, it is gimmicky as fuck. It is from the moment you get the box. If you go into a Walmart, if you go into a Target or a Best Buy and you say, give me the PlayStation VR, it has all the aspects from both your Nintendo products with your comparison and your Xbox. Both of them are in that box. It is. I'm sorry, but it's gimmicky as fuck. The motion controls are in the box. The camera, it's in the fucking box. Why would it not be gimmicky? And the most talked about games on that fucking system are not full fleshed out games. They're not. So we're talking about a gimmicky system, and it's hilarious to see you lose your shit over a gimmick, and you go into this thing about, oh, it's going to be supported into the PS5. Sony has a huge history of not supporting stuff. Vita? Anyone? When it doesn't do what they want it to. VR right now is not in the best shape. VR right now, no matter what VR headset we're talking about, is nowhere near where I think any of the VR headsets were thought they were gonna be. And that's just the truth. I don't care where you bought it from, whether you bought the Google, the Samsung, the Oculus, the HTC Vive, or the PlayStation. The hype surrounding the PlayStation 1 was it was going to save VR because VR was going downhill really fast before PlayStation even came out. And just like overnight celebrities, it didn't really catch on. I mean, it kind of did. It sold out, but then they failed to restock for a couple of months, and it still hasn't really caught like that. People have been waiting for a price drop, and it still hasn't really gone anywhere. People are not super excited for it because they just didn't restock fast enough so they could catch people like they should have. And that's Sony's fault. That's not really your fault. That's not my fault. That's Sony's fault. And like I said, when that happens, this thing does fall into the category of being a gimmick. It's not anyone's fault, man. But I get it. You're in your emotions. And I've been there, man. I've been there. I've fallen into my emotions and said random bullshit. But damn. If the PlayStation VR isn't a gimmick, Oculus isn't a gimmick, HTC Vive isn't a gimmick, yet they're nowhere near where they should be. None of them are. What the fuck do you call it then? A fad? It's the same fucking thing. It's in the same fucking category. It's a passing phase. A gimmick. See what I'm saying? So I hate to be the person to make this kind of video, kind of calling you out and kind of correcting you on this. And like I said, I'm going to try to find the video where he's going on the rant about the VR and the gimmick thing, because I think you need to see it if you haven't already. But he's got a lot more subscribers than I do anyway. But like I said, Sony has a history. It's paved in gold, basically, of creating a product because other companies have it, and making it pretty damn good. I don't know about the VR headset, but making a pretty good damn product here, and just kind of not doing much with it. Handhelds, anybody? Vita? PSP, anybody? Remember those two devices? Anyone? Anyone? Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me if when the PS5 ever releases anytime, if VR falls off the face of the planet. I'm just gonna put that out there because the way VR is being handled by Sony, even though yes it is getting games, VR overall, not just in Sony, but overall, has not been adopted as quickly or has been well received across the board in general. And you can say what you want to about that statement, but it's true. You might like the VR headset you have, but chances are it is probably going to be the cheapest one you have, or it's not the one, like, it's not the PlayStation 1, or it's not the HTC Vive 1, or it's not Oculus Rift, or it's not Google, or it's not Samsung. Chances are they all can't do what, it's not it's not one VR headset that does every single fucking thing. Basically what I'm saying there. And until we get that VR headset that does every single fucking thing that needs to be done, basically, whether, I can put my phone in it and do everything on a phone, or I can go to the PlayStation store and get all the PlayStation shit, or I can go on to Valve or Steam and do that shit over there. VR really can't fucking take off because it's just limited. And due to the fact that it's so limited, people are still hesitant. And the hype of that, due to how limited it is, can only go so far. I know that seems strange, but Sony had a chance here when they first launched VR to really get that and really take off with it. And they took off. As many units were on the market at the time it launched, and then they didn't at all. So I know it's weird, but it happens. So anyway, I just felt like making this video because, like I said, I was just watching it and I was like, this dude is freaking the fuck out, and his comparisons are so bad. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Deuces.